fire up in the chat. Make sure you can all hear me, see me loud and clear. Good stuff. How's it going? How's everyone's day been today? I mean, it's been some massive moves today, but there was no entry presented for us at all. So, you know, it's going to teach more patience than anything, really. When you see the market move such amount of pips in one direction, you know, it's almost like, can we capitalize on it? But only if it fits the rules, pretty much. So it's going to teach a lot of patience for sure. I see, Joe. Has been a slow week, which is, you know, again, if I compare this to a typical 1 minute time frame strategy, you know, yes, we could trade pretty much all the time in every session. There'll be a setup on the 1 minute, you know, but naturally your strike rate is going to be less, and you're probably going to take more losses. So, you know, is the added risk exposure worth it to satisfy your need to trade? Probably not. So I'll go ahead and share my screen again. Keep it nice and brief. There's not really much that has gone on, but I'll just brush over the charts and answer any questions you guys have got, really. Can you all see my screen okay? Yeah, sweet. I say, Joe, yeah, it's a complete contrast from most people. And discipline, it takes a lot longer than you'd think, especially, you know, coming from a lower time frame or, you know, typical 1 minute time frame model. With all the other factors stacked on top of that, you know, such things like working down from the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 1 minute. You know, it can really affect your psychology, affect your mindset, really. Correct, well spotted. This is an outdated version. Yeah, that's it. The ability to switch off is key, especially as a trader. You know, I can imagine a lot of you have had moments where you feel overwhelmed or your head kind of hurts because you've spent too much time on the charts. I've had it. You know, it's common. Whereas hopefully with this style, it should reduce that a lot. So yeah, EU 4 hour chart, as always, directional bias is the main driver for us. So the past, let's start with Monday, the start of the week. I guess it's been range bound. You know, we've had those up moves, down moves, up moves, and it's kind of not really committing in any direction as such. It seems to be giving NFTs and such. Yes, this was a follow through. Sorry, this one here. Quite an aggressive follow through as well with that. You know, big bullish momentum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive bullish candles there. You know, it's big, heavy momentum. So we know that this to be is our follow through, followed by the 2 bullish candle body closures above this fractal high point. That fractal high point being 1.1, bang on pretty much. Yeah, FT, and then we simply move this was our previous dealing range. And in this scenario, we were merely looking for buys in discount. So buys below the 1.10165. Nothing really presented, so you know, that's when we pretty much wait. And as you can see, look how aggressive the sell-off was. This was merely a liquidation of this liquidity pool, or fractal low as we know it as, but these are merely pools of liquidity that the price is going to hunt for pretty much. So it did that, and we can merely move our range, the most recent fractal low, and we know this as what? What do we know this as? simply an NFT. It's an NFT because of this candle failed to close below the low. We merely wicked it and drew on that liquidity, and again we wicked that level again, and failure to bearish body close below this fractal low of 1.09657, so showing signs of a reversal. Yeah, so pretty much this morning, very, very bullish, as you all probably know. And then, yeah, so we've pretty much gone from liquidity pool to liquidity pool here over the past couple of days, sweeping the fractal lows, creating NFTs. So yeah, this NFT was the liquidity to drive it higher, which it pretty much did. This London candle was, let's have a look, you know, over 60 pip move in one session. It's quite the bullish move for sure. But yeah, we approached sort of this morning's trading with that bullish bias, that NFT on fractal low, therefore giving us a bullish bias, and we were merely looking for, this was our dealing range high to low. We're pretty much looking for buys in discount. Yeah, so we're going to jump down to 15-minute and just recap on today's price action. The markup I sent out this morning was slightly wrong. I sent through an updated version. I had this initially, but I failed to just spot the small range shift here. So we had this range high to this range low, but then this range low gets breached. So we move our range low and then track back to the most recent high, which is this small range down here. And again, as we progress through, we move our 15-minute range, keep on moving it, as and when we print new highs, new lows, new lows. Again, this high is maintained because if we track back here, this is the most recent fractal high. And then just pre-London session, big explosive move up. So as soon as this fractal pretty much, or price sort of put it back a little bit, this is our new range. And if we're looking at external range sweeps only as the highest probability, we'd be looking for this low to go for buy. Again, that never happened. Aggressive push higher. No fractal low prints yet. So we merely just move the high and move it up again. And then if we track back, fractal low. This would have been a nice setup here if it was inside one of the kill zones, but it was like in the dead zone, if you like. So not something I'd be looking to take. So we move to the most recent external range, and again, high, and then the low, and we're just sort of coming into the end of the day here. So it's, you know, typical to see some sort of sideways price action, and I'll delete this box and then reevaluate it in the morning. So as soon as you can see pretty much on the 15-minute, as soon as we breached this 4-hour fractal high, that 4-hour pool of liquidity, aggressive push up, and then we started pulling back pretty soon, and we know this as a wick, and therefore an NFT. An NFT on a fractal high, and this has shifted. Excuse me, let's change this. A little bit of an outdated note there. Yeah, so our bias now has pretty much shifted. We have a bearish 4-hour directional bias due to the failure to close, bullish close above this most recent fractal high. We created a massive wick. Therefore, an indication of a draw on this liquidity pool, and we can look for sells pretty much, and the directional bias being bearish. So that's pretty much the recap on EU. Any of you guys got any questions? Anything you want me to clear up? It's pretty self-explanatory, but as always, no question is a stupid question. Sweet, let's move on to have a little look at GU. As you'll probably notice, EU is the main pair for me, GU for Scott, although we do both trade each pair. So
Actually, I do have a
similar.
little question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, does anybody in here like have any issue with the indicator? Like, for example, for the market session, it's only showing me the London one, and I'm trying to get it to show me the New York one, but I can't get it. I don't know why it's not showing New York.
So have you got session 1, session 2 tick?
Yeah, I do, and everything seems to be pretty. Yeah, it's the same thing. Oh, maybe the time zone GMT +1. I thought it was GMT +0. Okay, it's GMT +1 now, but okay.
Yes, it is now, yeah.
But yeah, I don't even think that would make a difference.
No, it should show up. I mean, sometimes in here, maybe you might have the transfer, the sort of opacity to 0. Therefore, it'd hide the box pretty much.
Maybe that's why. Okay, well, I'll try. But okay, I was just wondering if it was an issue maybe with TradingView or something, but I guess not.
The only issues I've had is if the market session indicator sort of errors out, but that'll with a refresh of the chart, it kind of just comes back. Or these weren't ticked, or like I say, or this was down to 0.
Okay, all right. GMT +0. I'll try it out again.
Yeah, no worries. Matt, so regarding the 50-minute entry, does a sweep constitute as wick and body closure? The 50-minute entry doesn't really matter if it's a sweep, a body or a wick. The candle itself. So let's just take today, for an example. If this was inside session, like this here, this candle here, this is the candle that took this fractal's low. Therefore, we'd put a buy stop on that candle's high and stops below the low. Something like that. Targeting 1 to 3. Yeah, so the fact that it's a body or a wick is, it's irrelevant. Yeah, no problems. Yeah, jump on back over to GU. So again, similar setup here with what happened on EU. So if we're looking at our sort of fractal highs of the 4-hour ranges and directional bias, we can track back to here. And then we've reached the high, low is maintained. Yeah, new high, new low. The low is reached using the most recent fractal, just track back there. Clear NFT here, wick, large wick. And then that causes an aggressive push higher. And it's that aggressive push higher that caused a FT. So when this candle here, this 2 p.m. candle closed, I think, yeah, it's slightly a wick. The body kind of didn't really close above that. So in that scenario, it's NFT, but then 1, 2, it was an NFT to an FT because we've had this true bullish body closure above that fractal high of 1.24677. We can use the most recent fractal low. That's in this scenario, before we took out this low, this would have been a bullish bias. And then as we start sort of pushing lower, when we get this body closure on this fractal low here, that's unconfirmed pretty much. It's unconfirmed until we either get another bearish body closure to warrant an FT, or in this scenario, we get a bullish candle showing a lack of momentum and therefore an NFT. Yeah, so the NFT bullish bias here, and that played out quite nice. big aggressive push up, and then we reach the next fractal high. So let's just move that, and then now we can see it's an NFT on that fractal high, and therefore we can go ahead and switch our bullish bias. Because now, same as EU, we have a bearish bias. The 4-hour directional bias on GU is the downside. And if we're looking at our range low to high, we're looking for sells inside premium. Yeah. Again, we'll review sort of what happens London session, pre-London session, as this is, you know, the hours between now and 8 a.m. about 10 hours. So we'll see how it develops overnight. So Matt, what if a high and low is printed on the same 4-hour candle? Would that be the new range? Yeah. Yeah, so if it's on the same candle, that's the, you know, that can be the current dealing range, if you like. And it's good that you've noticed that from your backtesting rather than, for example, me just telling you that. You know, because if you're noticing it for yourself on your backtested results, it's going to solidify itself in your mind more so than just being told. With stops, so we're going for a hard and fast rule 1 pip. I mean, it's up to you, Joe. I mean, I use 1 pip. Depends on your sort of risk tolerance, how many pips above or below you want to enter. I use 1 pip and then round up typically. You know, if it's like 18.3, then I'm going to add a pip, so it's 19.3, but I'll always round up, so it'll be like 20 pips. Yeah. But again, it's up to you. I mean, you can use the 1 pip, you can do 2, 3, but whatever you're doing, just keep it the same. I say, yeah, as long as you get a good 3R. I mean, like, I don't see the point in putting it like 10 pips below a low or high. Yeah, because if it's gonna break that low that you're entering on anyway, it's probably going to go a bit deeper. So it's kind of you're increasing your stop loss size and also increasing the time it's going to take, i.e. the amount of pips it's going to have to move for you to hit take profit. Obviously, ideally, we need a small enough stop loss to allow us to get a decent take profit within a 1 to 3 that doesn't exceed the average daily range of that particular pair. Ideally, that's like best case scenario. Like on EU, like a 35, 30, whatever, 40 pip stop. That means for me to TP, it's going to have to move like 90 to 120 pips. Yes, it can do that. What's the likelihood of it happening? It's quite slim, because the ADR on EU is like 60, 70 pips or something. Yeah, that's it, George. If you've tested it with 2, stick to that, you know. And it's down to personal preference. Like I said, I could tell you this is what I do, and you could do that. But for me, I've always preferred to, if someone tells me that information, I'll go away, test it, and see if that works for me. I think that's a key factor there, because then it's going to solidify it in your, you know, in your own mind, you know. Any questions on GU? Very similar to EU, to be fair, in terms of directional bias setup coming into London session tomorrow. Sweet. So I think I'll cut it there, guys. Nice, short and sweet. Hope you've taken away some useful information. As always, me, Scott O'Callum, just a message away. Don't feel like any questions, a stupid question, you can just go ahead and DM us anytime with whatever info. That's why we're here, right? Yeah, thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the Discord and fresh for London session.